Hi, it's Wendy from daintycookieco, and today I'll be showing you beginner-friendly flower cookies using royal icing. Here I have a couple of different floral tips. There are some large sizes, such as these. Here I have an open star tip, and on the other side I have a closed star tip. They also come in smaller sizes. These are more perfect for when you're piping transfers. And then here we have petal tips. This one is a curved edge and a straight petal tip. For the first flower, I'm using a closed star tip. Start at the center and work your way outwards. You can go ahead and fix the tail end of the flower using your scribe, or you can also smooth out any imperfections. Here I'll go ahead and take out the tip and change it to the open star tip so I can show you the difference of the rosette using the closed star tip and the open star tip. Again, you'll want to start at the center of your cookie and work your way in a circle outwards. Okay, so here is a side-by-side comparison between the closed star tip and the open star tip. Now here I'm moving on to the 104 Wilton petal tip. You can see that the petal tip has a wider end and a narrow end. Put the wide end touching the base of the cookie and the narrow end facing upwards. You can start piping your petals going in a zigzag motion. You can add more height to each petal by holding your bag at a different angle. Here, I'm holding my piping bag close to the surface of the cookie. Now I'm going back and piping a second layer of petals right above the first layer. You can leave the flower as is and pipe little dots in the center, or you can do a third layer of petals as I'm doing here. To finish this cookie off, I'll go ahead and add some white sprinkles right in the center. As I mentioned before, you can either use sprinkles or you can use outline consistency so you can pipe little dots in the center. Here is another variation of a petal tip. It has a slight curve to it. I'll be showing you a different floral you can achieve with this tip. Start by piping a blob of icing straight in the center of your cookie. Then again, with the wider side touching the base of your cookie, go ahead and spiral around the blob of icing that you put in the center of the cookie. Now, holding your piping bag at an angle, start making a ruffle effect going all around the cookie. For this one, I'll go ahead and use black outline consistency to pipe in little stems in the center of the cookie. I'll be making the same flower, but this time using the 104 Wilton petal tip. Again, you want to start with a blob of icing in the center, and then with your petal tip, the white end touching the bottom of the cookie, you go around the perimeter of the blob of icing in the center. So as a recap, I'm wiggling my piping bag in an up and down motion, creating a ruffle effect. As you go in the inside layers, you want to angle the tip of your piping bag a little bit higher so that it can give you a 3D effect. Here's another side-by-side view. Both are the same flowers using a different petal tip. The one on the right was using the curved petal tip, and the one on the left is using the straight 104 Wilton petal tip. The next flower I'll be showing you is a carnation. For this flower, you want to start on the outer edge of the cookie and you will be using the same ruffling effect. When you get towards the second layer, go ahead and stop and tilt your piping bag so that the tip has more of an angle straight up and create more ruffle effects such as you see here. Okay, so here's another simple flower using the same 104 Wilton petal tip. Start piping petals one across from the other so that you can have an idea of where to space the petals evenly. Now go back and pipe a second layer of petals so you can cover up the empty gaps. Here I'm adding some white little pearls straight in the center. You can also use white outline consistency and pipe in little dots. Now with the same bag of icing and the same tip, go ahead and use the tip with the wider end outwards this time and the narrow end touching the base of the cookie. Here I'm making a small blue daisy. Now I'll go ahead and pipe a white dot right in the center using my white outline consistency. You can leave it as is, or you can add small white pearl sprinkles to the center. For our final cookie, I'll go ahead and show you a cool technique. I'll be showing you a two-toned floral. The way you do this is by piping any color icing to one side of an empty piping bag, such as you see here. On the other side, go ahead and add a different color of icing. Here I'm using yellow and white. Now go ahead and push your colors straight to the bottom of the bag. Here you can see the two tones. Here I'll be using the same Wilton 104 petal tip. I still have some leftover blue icing residue from my last flower, so I'll go ahead and squeeze that icing out until I get to the yellow and white. So I made sure that the yellow icing aligned to the wide end of the petal tip. That way, when I pipe my petals, the yellow icing will be on the inside of the petal and the white will show on the outer edge of the petal. Here I'm making small petals around the edge of the cookie, and as you can see, the white is the primary color on the outer edge of the petal, and you can see a small streak of yellow in the center. Continue to fill the center with small petals. Now you can go ahead and achieve a different look just by moving the icing. Meaning, instead of having the yellow icing towards the wide end of the petal tip, you go ahead and put the white icing towards the wide end and the yellow icing towards the narrow end this time. Here I was running out of icing, but just to give you a small demonstration, this time you can see that the yellow is now on the outer edge of the petal and the white is in the inside. I hope this video was easy to follow, and if you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments section. Thanks for watching.